Good morning. How are you all today? Thank you for visiting with us and welcome to Bible class with Andre and Betty. We're concluding the book of 1 Samuel today with us being in chapter 31. And next time we will be going into 2 Samuel. But here in 1 Samuel chapter 31, we see King Saul and his 3 sons die. And so we'll see the death of Saul. And it begins, verse 1 begins with now, letting us know we're entering a new subject. So now the Philistines fought against Israel, or at this time, the Philistines fought against Israel. And the men of Israel ran away or fled from before the Philistines and fell down slain in Mount Gilboa. And in chapter 28 of 1 Samuel, we see that in 28 and verse 4, it says, "And the Philistines gathered themselves together and came and pitched in Shunem." So that's where they were. And Saul gathered all Israel together, and they pitched in Gilboa. And so Israel is in Gilboa, the Philistines are in Shunem, but in this chapter they began to fight each other. Verse 2, "And the Philistines followed hard upon Saul and upon his sons. And the Philistines slew or killed Jonathan and Abinadab and Melchishua, Saul's sons. So they were killed. And Jonathan, remember, and David are close friends, intimate friends." Verse 3. "And the battle went sore against Saul." It was severe against Saul. "And the archers are the experts and with bow and arrow. The archers hit him, and he was severely wounded of the archers." Verse 4. "Then said Saul unto his armor bearer, Draw thy sword and thrust me through therewith, lest these uncircumcised come and thrust me through and abuse me. I'd rather you kill me than the uncircumcised Philistines." But his armor bearer would not, for he was severely or sore afraid. Therefore Saul took a sword and fell upon it, and that he committed suicide instead of having the Philistines abuse him. Verse 5, "And when his armor bearer saw that Saul was dead, he fell likewise upon his sword and died with him." So he too committed suicide. This is how, the next verse will say, verse 6, "So Saul died, and his 3 sons, and his armor bearer, and all his men that same day together." Now, when we get to 2 Samuel, we'll see a different scenario about this same incident. But the word of God will prove itself that this is the way Saul died. This young man that came to tell David about Jonathan and Saul made up a story to tell to get on David's good side. And I know that's a lot to say, but that's why it's so important to study all the word of God. And so Saul died. This is so Saul died. It means this, as described, Saul died, and his 3 sons, and his armor bearer, and all his men that same day together. Verse 7, And when the men of Israel that were on the other side of the valley, and they that were on the other side Jordan saw that the men of Israel fled, and that Saul and his sons were dead, they forsook the cities and fled. The Philistines came and dwelt in them, so the other Israelites ran away when they saw Saul and his sons dead. Verse 8. And it came to pass on the morrow, when the Philistines came to strip the slain, that they found Saul and his 3 sons fallen in Mount Gilboa. Verse 9. And they cut off his head and stripped off his armor, and sent into the land of the Philistines round about, to publish it in the house of their idols and among the people. They had a story to tell. They were claiming victory over the Saul and the people of Israel. Verse 10. And these Philistines, verse 10, and they put his armor in the house of Ashtaroth. Ashtaroth is a female goddess, counterpart to Baal. So Ashtaroth they put his armor in the house of an idol god, and they fastened his body to the wall of Bethshan, and that's a place near Mount Gilboa. Verse 11. And when the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead heard of that which the Philistines had done to Saul, verse 12, all the valiant men arose and went all night and took the body of Saul and the bodies of his sons from the wall of Bethshan, and came to Jabesh and burnt them there. When this says burnt them there, that's talking about a burning ceremony in their mourning for King Saul. These men of Jabesh Gilead is Gad, Reuben, Gad, and Asher, that live on the east side of the Jordan River, and Saul and the others lived on, well, at this time they were all in one place, but Jabesh is the capital city of Gilead, which is on the east side of the Jordan River. And the tribe of Judah is on the south side of the Jordan River, or the west side, but they are called the southern kingdom. Verse 13. And they took, these men of Jabesh Gilead, they took their bones and buried them under a tree at Jabesh, and fasted 7 days. So this is the story of the end of King Saul's kingdom. And you'll read in the book of Acts that Saul reigned 40 years. And I'll have to remember to give you that verse next time. I can't call it right off my head. So thank you all. And as usual, if you have questions or comments, email me at bjt1125@yahoo.com, or make a comment on my channel with YouTube. So you all have a great day and a great week. Bye.